So, this is probably one of the worst kept secrets about India, and yet we have to keep teaching Western women not to go there. The US State Department just dropped a new travel advisory on India, and it's not because of unsanitary food, which we've all seen, mass public defecation, or Google Play Card scams. On June 16th, the United States also issued a level 2 advisory warning travelers, especially women, to exercise increased caution due to a sharp increase in SA. Now, SA is now, obviously, taking women against their will, is now listed as the fastest growing crime in the country. Tourist areas and resorts, not even safe. Malls, transit center, beaches, also not safe. Airbnbs and hotels, good luck. The timing wasn't random either. Just one day ago, the travel advisory was issued. One day before the travel advisory was issued, a 20-year-old student was taken by 10 local men at once. You can see the article here. The travel advisories I'm showing you. This a group of 10 Indian men do something obviously horrible. And actually a few hours before I filmed this video, Indian media reported a French tourist had suffered the same fate. So perhaps the travel advisory came at the exact right time. For those of you who are terminally online, you might remember that public sentiment on social media surrounding India, specifically in respect to its SA issue, reached a fever pitch in March of last year after a horrific incident involving two Spanish tourists went viral. Those tourists were a couple, a husband and a wife, and they were in the process of visiting every country in the world, vlogging their adventures along the way to their humble Instagram following. But within 24 hours arriving in India, they were attacked, robbed, and the woman was taken by 7 men. Mind you, this couple had gone to Afghanistan, Pakistan, the countries you would assume would have had more trouble for them, and never had a single problem. It was not until they got to India before they were brutalized. While they had initially posted a video updating their followers about their attack on Instagram, it didn't really take off until it was shared by the X account, Slatsism. Her post got over 200 million views, definitely worth a follow, by the way, making it one of the world's most viewed posts in X's history.
Nos ha pasado algo que no deseamos a nadie. Nos han asaltado en la tienda, nos han golpeado, nos han puesto el cuchillo en el cuello que me iban a matar. Fred y a Fernanda la han violado. 7 tíos, hijos de puta. Pues bueno, ya os contaremos más. Os contaremos más. Vamos a ver qué tal. Estamos con la policía. Hemos ido a un hospital allí. Aquí en India. Hemos dormido en un hospital allí, nos han dejado dormir allí. Hemos metido la moto dentro del hospital y ahora nos han traído a unos 60 o 70 kilómetros a otra ciudad, a otro hospital para hacer las pruebas del ADN de Fernanda y todo. Bueno. Reventada la boca. Dios, estamos en el hospital. Dios.
People were horrified, and the virality of the post gave people an outlet to discuss their own experiences in India. One journalist, David Valdzitsko, sorry if I mispronounced that, himself attracted viral attention after he noted that the level of SA aggression he witnessed while living in India was unlike anything anywhere else he had been, and warned women not to travel there alone. Continuing, I have never met a female traveler who has not been groped or attacked or worse, even if they've only been in the country for mere days. Here's his actual post where he wrote this. I introduced a female friend to a young Indian man, and instead of shaking her hand, he groped her. And when she became angry, he became extremely hostile. And I thought I was going to have to fight the guy. I never met a female traveler who has not been groped or attacked or worse, even if they've been in the country for mere days. I love India. It always will be one of my favorite places in the world. But I have advised female friends who've asked me not to travel there alone. This is a real problem in Indian society that warrants more attention, and I hope it will improve in time. His post also attracted the attention of India's Commissar of Women. But do you think Miss Sharma was apologetic or sympathetic towards the plight of women, which is kind of her job? No, she actually started arguing with him, encouraged media in India to stop covering these types of cases so that India wouldn't even look bad. This is the Commissioner for Women. Many Indians themselves also work to shame anyone talking about this case, concerned for the country's international image. They were arguing with anyone bringing up India's SA problem, calling people racist and generally being weird and unsympathetic. We can look at some of these posts. According to your own statistics, nearly every woman in the U.S. has had this happen to them at some point in their life. That's a giant number. This also means you are personally highly likely to be one of these people. I mean, okay. Why are you driving? This is another Indian. Why are you driving a hate campaign against India? All the racists have gathered below your tweet. The woman was, SA'd for F's sake. She's getting help, and the perpetrators are being rounded up. Trust me, they'll never see the light of day. So why this crime by individuals being portrayed as some sort of state-sponsored crime? As I already told the Indian administration, and police are helping the victim, and the general public is in strong support of her, rooting for justice. 3 out of 7 perpetrators have already been arrested. Justice will be delivered for sure. Meanwhile, this news is from Texas, where 7 men did something also bad. Again, these things, the deflection is weird. This platform is a piece of ish. If you're Indian, you can have chat groups to mass report anyone who's saying something bad about the Indians. Whites need to create such a group to mass report these Indian folks. I mean, you see this. Indian cyber defense, they say suspended, 73,000 fires. These are people who were reporting on Indian behavior that were getting mass flagged off India to try and protect them. There were chat groups, as I mentioned, that emerged during this time where Indians would gather to encourage the mass reporting of any accounts discussing the problem or saying anything remotely critical about India. This, for example, was probably the best example of the biggest turning point in this case. It wasn't just about the horrific essay in and of itself, but the response of India's government officials and Indians themselves were just so off-putting that a lot of people felt emboldened to finally start dunking on the country's SA problem openly. Disturbing videos began consistently going viral, showing female tourists being groped, followed, or stared at by groups of men. Here's just a few of them I'll show you, by the way.
Taking a picture. I don't want to take a picture with you. Can you stop following me? I don't like it. Cello. One person got my ass so far. It's not going too bad, I say. Happy Holi!
No, I'm not taking my hand off! No, I'm not taking my hand off! Hell no! Stop it! No! No! I am taking my hand on! Guys! I can keep my damn hands on during a photo! No!
Buona spessore. 아, 지금 미니가 아니고 아까 그 사람이네. 이거? 아, 귀엽다. 저기 또 옛날이네.
저기요! 변태 새끼! Help me!
Thank you for coming. I'll see you in hell.
Of course, this in turn influenced a shift in public opinion on India in a dramatic way. Many Indians had the same reaction to the U.S. travel advisory announcement, claiming that India didn't have any sort of a unique problem for SA, and that it was all just racism in disguise. Well, it sure doesn't seem that way to me. And it's true, India's SA rate is comparable to a lot of other countries, but why? How could this be? Well, it's because a lot of things aren't actually classified as SA in India. For example, marital SA, the act of forcing yourself on your spouse, that isn't even a crime in India. There's a recent case where a man did something horrible to his wife until her intestines exploded and he was let go because he did nothing wrong according to India's criminal code. He could not be held accountable for doing this to his wife, who was a child, by the way. There's also a lot of examples where an Indian law enforcement attempts to perhaps intentionally misclassify SA to avoid having it on the books. A pretty famous example went back to 2018, where it was an SA and they took a life of the tourist who had gone to India for a mental health retreat. She was found without her head and hung upside down in a forest. The police initially tried to classify it as taking her own life, and then didn't include any of the SA at all. It was only because her family fought for independent forensics that they got to the bottom of it. And it's just absolutely insane to me that this stuff keeps getting hit, keeps getting covered up, keeps getting, and the fact of the matter is the cover up is so crazy. People wildly. I mean, in 2018, a woman went to India to cure depression, had something horrible to her, and found her hanging upside down in a forest. I mean, there is nothing safe or right about this. Listen, American women, you've now been formally warned to avoid traveling to India. Ignore the warning at your own risk.